Good evening friends. Last video நம்ம வந்து ratios பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கிறோம். அதில் current ratio பார்த்தோம். இந்த current ratio வந்து 2:1 இருந்தால் better அப்படின்றது நம்மளுடைய ஒரு ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் ஃபார்முலா. ஸோ அசட்ஸ் என்ன இருக்குதோ அதில் 50% whatever the assets you have, your liability should be only 50% of your current assets. That is the standard level. In this session we are going to discuss about acid test ratio or quick test ratio. In this, the difference between current ratio and acid test ratio is very simple. Say in this current ratio we have included stock and prepaid expenses. Stocks and prepaid expenses. Listen it carefully. In the current ratio we have included stock and prepaid expenses. But in the quick ratio or acid test ratio, in the acid test stock and prepaid expenses will be excluded. We will not consider stock and prepaid expenses in the acid test ratio. Why is this? Because stock is not a immediately convertible form of cash. Is an argument. Only on this basis this acid test has been developed. As I told you, the dormant stocks are also in part of closing stock in some organizations, and stock may be showing in the purchase price. The prevailing price may be much lower than the purchase price. So all these things are there, and moreover the reason behind is the stock has to be first processed into a, what is stock? Stock is a raw material. This has to be processed into a finished product. After that you have to sell it. After that you may also sell it in credit also. If it is a credit sales, the buyer has to repay it to you. So this is a lengthy process. We do not know when we will realize this money. So they are removing the stock from the current asset and prepaid expenses. Prepaid expenses is also a long duration one. See, for example, a company is starting a new company. At that time they will spend a lot of money on advertisement and promotional, but that advertisement expenses, promotional expenses are these kind of expenses will give you benefit not only for that particular year. That benefit will be reaped out over a period of 5-6 years also. So on this count we are removing the prepaid expenses also. If you are removing and calculating this ratio, this is called the acid test ratio. This is the acid test ratio. For acid test ratio, the ratio may be 1:1 is also found good. In the previous one, current ratio, we have discussed it, it should be 2:1. Here the ratio is 1:1 is also sufficient. right? Here we are taking into only the liquid assets. Liquid assets divided by liquid liability. This is the formula for acid test ratio. See, for example, in this illustration, they have given cash in hand, cash at bank, bills receivable, sundry debtor, marketable securities, temporary investment, outstanding. All these things they have given. On this, you have to calculate the acid test ratio. So this is very simple. You have to add all the liquid assets, add all the current liabilities. When you divide it, you will get that ratio. Now this is coming here is the 1.33, which is sufficient because it is more than 1:1. So in this illustration 2, we are going to discuss bank loan 1 lakh rupees, sundry creditor 1.5 lakhs, payable 20,000, credit expenses, debentures, plant and machinery, stock in trade, everything they have given. What are all the quick assets here? The quick asset is sundry debtors. Sundry debtors. Sundry debtor less provision, it is 70,000 rupees. Less provision, it is 70,000 rupees. So we have included this 70,000 here as the quick asset. Then cash in hand 15,000 rupees. Cash in hand 15,000 rupees. Then cash at bank 1,10,000. 1,10,000. Then short term investment 1,50,000 rupees. 1,50,000 rupees. See here we have removed prepaid expenses. We have not considered this one. Similarly, we have not considered the stock in trade, right? We have taken into care of only the liquid assets, right? These 4 things are liquid assets and we have included it. Similarly, on the liability side, bank loan is a long term one, so we have excluded it. Bank loan is a long term one and we have excluded it. Sundry creditor is a short term one and we have included it here 1,50,000. Bills payable short term, we have included this. Then creditors 10,000, we have included it. So we have to total it 3.45 divided by 1,80,000, 1.8. So the ratio is 1:1.91. So it is more than 1. So this ratio is, this company is a healthy company. This is the conclusion it is giving. Note it, we are excluding the illiquid things. We are taking care of only the liquid things. So we have excluded stock in trade, prepaid expenses and bank loan, because bank loan is also a long term one. In this way only you have to calculate it. Thank you.